For the dead and the living, we must bear witness. Elie Wiesel, Holocaust survivor. I wish I could tell you their names. I wish I could tell you their stories. Instead, all I have is a poor estimate. 5 to 17 million. Through time, this estimate has risen like a floodwater threatening to drown us all. 5 to 17 million, men, women, and children. Jews, Roma, people with disabilities, homosexuals, human beings. Gone. Nowadays, the Holocaust seems miles away. It almost doesn't feel real, because it is hard to comprehend that murder on a grand scale could be done to our own kind, that babies could be ripped from their mother's arms and tossed into pits of fires. One human being looking down at another as inferior and not worthy of breathing. No matter how far away it feels, this genocide did not just affect the people of World War II. We are not safe from it in our 21st century bubble of technology. This genocide did not just affect the people of Germany or Poland. We are not safe from it in the rest of the world. We must act diligently to prevent history from repeating itself and to not forget our mistakes of the past. Human suffering anywhere concerns men and women everywhere. Elie Wiesel and his father were selected for forced labor. His mother and youngest sister were deemed unfit for labor and sent straight to the gas chambers. Starved, tortured, and nearing the edge of death, this following passage from his book Night details a very long, over 10-mile journey in a blizzard from Auschwitz-Birkenau to Gleiwitz, following the advance of the Soviet army. Faster, you tramps, you flea-ridden dogs! We were no longer marching, we were running. The SS were running as well, weapons in hand. We looked as though we were running from them. From time to time, a shot exploded in the darkness. They had orders to shoot anyone who could not sustain the pace. Their fingers on the triggers, they did not deprive themselves of this pleasure. If one of us stopped for a second, a quick shot eliminated the filthy dog. My foot was aching. I shivered with every step. Just a few more meters, and it will be over. I'll fall. A small red flame, a shot. Death enveloped me. It suffocated me. It stuck to me like glue. I felt I could touch it. The idea of dying, of ceasing to be, began to fascinate me. To no longer exist, to no longer feel the excruciating pain of my foot, to no longer feel anything, neither fatigue nor cold, nothing. To let myself slide to the side of the road. Eli's ordeal lasted for over a year. The horrors he endured by the Nazis pushed him to the very edge of his sanity and made him lose faith in God. It completely changed him and permanently burned atrocities into his memory. Surprisingly, there are people who denied the very existence of the Holocaust. In Iran and Syria, it is school curriculum to teach it as a lie perpetuated by the Jewish people. We cannot allow these victims to have died in vain. We can give them hope for the future by practicing acceptance, equality, and diversity. It is crucial that this ugly scar in our history teaches us a lesson. According to Miriam Auster, education and remembrance are the only cures for hatred and bigotry. Today, the survivors of the Holocaust are starting to dwindle away. Their voices should be heard and their stories remembered. Let our generations not only be the ones to speak, but act. Wiesel said, "We must always take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented." It doesn't matter how much time has passed. By ignoring this issue, we let the suffering of millions have no purpose. We can give them purpose. Therefore, I ask you to accept those who are like you and those who are not. I ask you to stand up for what is right. I want us to change the world by being virtuous and kind, not selfish and filled with hate. Eli's story, along with the millions of others that we have not been able to hear, offer us perspective and wisdom. Let us be better than those who came before us. To quote Elie Wiesel one last time, to forget a Holocaust is to kill twice. Thank you.